Getting a bigger picture of the historic and anxiety-provoking election we're currently witnessing. We have two guests to talk about this. Presidential historian Leah Wright Rigueur from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government and historian Allan Lichtman, who has famously predicted the popular vote winners in the last 9 U.S. elections. Allan, let me start with you. Back in August, you picked Biden as the winner. Are you feeling comfortable at this point, comfortable enough to do a little gloating?
Yes. Look, I also predicted Donald Trump as the winner in 2016. So my system is purely nonpartisan, and it works because it ignores the polls and the pundits, pays no attention to the day-to-day events of the campaign, and instead looks at the big picture of incumbent strength and performance. And the way it works, if 6 of my 13 keys go against the White House party, they are predicted losers. Trump was only down 4 keys at the end of 2019. Then his failed response to the pandemic and to the cries for social and racial justice cost him 3 more keys, the short and long-term economic keys and the social unrest key for 7. Never in the history of our country has an incumbent president suffered such a sudden and dramatic reversal of fortune in just a matter of a few months. And he has no one to blame but himself. He's the president, and unfortunately, he gave us, in his reaction, the worst moment in presidential history when he needlessly and dangerously attacked our democracy for no purpose other than ego gratification and selfish political gain. Historians will remember that.
In that reference there, you're talking about his comments the other night where he falsely claimed that the election was being stolen. Let me bring in Leah here because I want to ask you, you're a presidential historian. There's so much talk about this election being so close and so hard fought and so much venom being spewed on both sides. How unusual is all of this when we take the historical perspective?
So certainly there have been lots of, contentious, venomous, lots of vitriol presidential elections. I'm certainly thinking of, 1964, Cow Palace, 50,000 people show up to protest the nomination of Barry Goldwater. I'm thinking 1960, where the election could have gone in multiple directions, and the Nixon campaign thought about contesting it with John F. Kennedy. But also I'm thinking about the 2000 election, Bush v. Gore. And, this goes all the way to the Supreme Court. There are contentions over, which hanging chads and things like that. Who would have won? We might have been, if the decision had gone in a different direction, we might have been talking about President Gore. But I don't think there's been anything of this, of this type in the modern period in the ensuing years. I mean, what we've seen over the last couple of days has been remarkable, and in a lot of ways shocking. And in fact, we're getting into a period where we might see a president that refuses to concede the election in the event that he has lost, and it looks like he has lost. So we haven't seen that before. Even when we see something like Nixon v. Kennedy, Nixon made the decision to call it, to say, you know what, I'm not going to contest it. Even in the, the example of Florida, this did go on for several months, but ultimately Gore said, you know what, this is the decision that the Supreme Court has made. This is the decision of the American people. What we're seeing now is something completely different and something that you normally do not associate with a democracy. And in fact, we shouldn't associate with a democracy.
Allan, we only have a few seconds left here, but I wonder if you could talk briefly about what you think the long-term ramifications might be of what we're witnessing now on the public stage.
Well, I'm hoping the long-term ramifications will be a reaction against movement towards autocracy, disrespect for our democracy. I fully anticipate my prediction is right and Biden will win. And, he's not an exciting Barack Obama, but maybe this reconciling, non-threatening figure who can work across the aisles is what America needs to restore us to our normal democratic traditions.
Perhaps, but there are, we should note, tens of millions of Americans who are on record as disagreeing. We are unfortunately out of time. This is a fascinating discussion.
That's always the case.
It is always the case. Yes, yes, but perhaps never more so with so much feeling in this case. I wish we had more time to talk to both of you. You're so fascinating, but really appreciate your time on this Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.